this controversy around the US possibly ending birthright citizenship made me curious as to how many countries actually offer birthright citizenship. And so I looked into it, and I'm going to share what I learned with you because I learned some very interesting things. Also, because years ago, the Dominican Republic ended their own version of birthright citizenship, and it was extremely controversial. They did it retroactively, and they snatched a lot of Haitians' birthright citizenship. And so people had to prove that they were born in the Dominican Republic. They had to get documents. They had to have 5 Dominican witnesses. It was a whole mess, right? And at that time, I found out that Haiti actually does not have birthright citizenship. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I had never considered that that was not a thing everywhere, that, there are some countries that offer it and some do not. And so this time around, I decided to look into how many countries offer it because I was curious. And I learned, first of all, before I get into this, let me explain the difference between the citizenships because I'm realizing a lot of people are not aware of this. So there's right of soil and right of blood, which in Latin, it's right of soil is jus soli, and and right of blood is jus sanguinis. So that's how it's known, citizenship, okay? Birthright versus blood right. So birthright citizenship means that because you were born in that country, you are eligible for citizenship in that country, okay? And there are different conditions to this depending on the country. So for example, the US and a lot of countries in the Americas have automatic unrestricted birthright citizenship, meaning that you were born there, you automatically get citizenship. It doesn't matter if your parents were from the country, if they were born in the country, if your lineage is from the country. It doesn't matter if your parents were there as residents or if they were there without any legal documents. Because you were born in that country, you automatically gain citizenship, okay? There are some countries that have a version of birthright citizenship with conditions. So your parents had to have been in the country legally as residents. Or you're even more restrictive, your parents, if they were immigrants, had to be citizens by the time you were born in order for you to gain citizenship, okay?
I believe countries like France and Germany are some of the countries that she'll probably cite because I'm literally reacting to this in real time as usual. I always like to react to my videos authentically in real time, and that way you get a true reaction for what the person is saying. I think that the United States of America is unique in that our Constitution and our laws were specifically crafted for the time by which they were created. So, for example, the 14th was created to make sure that it coincided with 1865 and then later amended again to include other people later in the 1800s. But the fact of the matter is, it was still for the descendants of slaves. And so, for us to even have this conversation, we have to first make sure that we consider that every country's laws is based off of what their history is.